Hi, and welcome to Grails to Astonish. I've got yet another unboxing video I'm going to do today. I've got this huge box with a bunch of books from a recent ComicConnect auction. And I will tell you right now, I have in here two serious, major grails. Two comics that, by any standard, are really, really important, valuable books. I even did a video recently where I talked about the books that I thought were really good investments and books that I think were going to have a lasting impact for generations and were worth investing in, and even at the prices they're at today, which, I mean, there's a lot higher than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago, but a lot lower than it was 3 or 4 years ago. The market has come way, way down. These books are going for half as much as they were at the peak of the pandemic bubble in 2021, 22. Now is a great time to be buying them, and I think these books are going to be good investments, and I'm so excited to have them. Got some packaging here. First one, not too exciting. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 73 with the kind of vaguely homoerotic cover and the title Man Mountain Marco. I got this one because it is a raw 8.5, which I think has some cleaning potential and might get a higher grade. It's really just an investment book, not very exciting. Next one, this is very exciting. I love this. This is Amazing Stories. It doesn't have a number really. It's Amazing Stories from 1927 or 28 with the Jules Verne story on the cover. Actually, no, not Jules Verne, H.G. Wells. My apologies, it's not Jules Verne. With a bunch of dinosaurs attacking a battleship. I just love this cover. I have another one on the wall at 5.0. It's very, very rare. The bad thing about this is graded at 6.5, but I will tell you, I got it at a really good price, and after I got it, I realized I'd been a little overzealous, and I do believe it's restored. When you buy these pulps from the 1920s, a lot of them have restoration. Not serious restoration, not professional restoration. They just have a lot of tape on them because they would fall apart. They're pulps. This has that. I'm pretty sure if I do send it in, it will come back with a purple label. For that reason, I probably won't bother, especially since I already have a copy that is blue label. So I might just flip this open and read it. Might put it on eBay. This one, another Amazing Stories. They had a whole run of Amazing Stories. This was in at 4.0, and I, at a glance, really liked this cover with the giant octopus eating people. But then I looked a little closer at it and kind of regretted bidding on it because it's super racist. The depictions are have not stood the test of time. So, yeah. Whoops. Ooh, this is a really good one. I'm going to save this. I'm not going to show you this yet. All right, this one is Amazing Spider-Man 55 at 9.0. Talked about this before. Amazing Spider-Man is like a quarter of the total collectible comics market. By volume and by dollar sales is Amazing Spider-Man, this one title. They're very, very popular. Tons of people are collecting them. I happen to think that this cover by John Romita is one of his best. This is one of the best Spider-Man covers. Jack Kirby, as great as he is, this wasn't his style. He would never have done a cover like this where we're looking in extreme close-up at Dr. Octopus and we see Spider-Man dealing with his tentacles in the reflection of his glasses. I think it was used as inspiration for the movie poster for Spider-Man 2 when it came out 40 years later. I had this at 7.5. I put it on eBay and it sold immediately. I put it up on eBay as soon as I won this at auction, so now I have the replacement for it. It's always nice to have a Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man comic in 9.0 or higher because you know if you get sick of it, you can sell it off. Tons and tons of buyers. These, I can tell from the packaging, these are slab books in CGC's new pulp magazine size. These are really, really big plastic cases. CGC just started grading pulp books about a year or two ago. Okay, this is Amazing Stories number 2. It is from 1926, May 1926, Amazing Stories #2, with this wild cover that shows some kind of space moth hovering over some giant civilization. Stories by H.G. Wells, Jules Verne, and Edgar Allan Poe. Like I said, these stories were decades old even in 1926. They were reprinting them because they didn't have authors creating new high-quality stories yet. They developed that a few years later. But this is 6.0. This might be, it might not be the highest, but I think it is one of the highest graded copies of this book. This is Amazing Stories. They've numbered it number 18 from September 1927. It's got a cover with a giant Venus flytrap type thing eating a guy. That's cool. But what's really special about this particular book is this is the first printing of H.P. Lovecraft's The Color Out of Space. One of his great stories. I read it, the short story, as soon as I bought this. It is genuinely eerie and disturbing in a way that horror fiction of this era really wasn't. There's no, you can't fight away the horrors in this story by holding up a cross or a silver bullet. I don't even think they put Lovecraft's name on the cover. Stories by H.G. Wells, Otis Adelbert Klein, Miles Brewer. No mention of H.P. Lovecraft on the cover. He was not a known writer at the time, and I think for a long time after. The horrors in H.P. Lovecraft stories were cosmic and kind of transcended human knowledge, morality. It was about a universe that just did not care about the existence of mankind. It did not care about good or evil. If you look at modern horror, particularly science fiction horror, a lot of the great movies and stories that are around now, like Alien and The Thing, are really derived from that idea that these are just creatures that don't care about us. They're not out to get us. They just are, and we're in the way, or we're their food. And that's what is at the heart of The Color Out of Space. He was a messed up guy, but he kind of was scratching at something that I think in the decades that followed. My camera battery died. I had to reset, which I think was my camera's way of telling me to stop talking about H.P. Lovecraft and get to the good stuff. Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1, First Appearance of the Sinister Six. I got a copy of this comic when I was, I think, 10 or 11 years old at Galaxy Comics, and I remember I got it for $15, and I actually still have it. Yes, it's right here. I still have it today. This is it. I got it graded at 2.0. I have a 4.5, a 6.5, and now a 7.0. I've been sort of climbing my way up. I'm never going to get rid of this one. This is one of the few comics I have from when I was a kid. My comic collection got stolen out of my dad's basement, but they missed one box. This one was spared, so I've got this along with just a box full of, like, I don't know, X Factors or something. But this was one of the old comics I had, and I just love this cover. It's got all the characters in it. They just threw the whole Marvel universe in it. I think the Fantastic Four shows up, Thor shows up, Iron Man flies by for a panel or two. He calls up the X-Men at one point. They just threw everybody they had at it. And this was 1964, so this was when they were really starting to build up this pantheon of characters. So now I've got it at 7.0, which is looking really, really nice. The 6.5 and the 4.5, I will put those up at auction. But I'm going to hang on to the 2.0 and the 7.0. The next one is Avengers #1 at 5.0. This is definitely a grail, and it's a comic that I feel is really undervalued in the market for what it is and for what it means and what it will mean in the decades to come. I think Avengers 1 is a really, really great book. And it's going for peanuts right now. It's down way, way, way from its peak a few years ago, and it really has just always sold for less than I think it should. You've got Fantastic Four #1s, X-Men #1s, the other team books selling for way, way, way higher at the same grade. It's got the Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, Ant-Man, Wasp. They're battling Loki. The fair market right now for 5.0 is about $5,000, but I got this for a good deal less than that with off-white pages. Now on to the last book. I talked a lot about this one in a recent video. I have determined that this is one of the best investments for Marvel, Silver Age comics, and comics in general right now. I think for obvious reasons, this is likely to go up, but even aside from those obvious reasons, it's still just much less expensive than it should be. This is Fantastic Four #5, the first appearance of Dr. Doom, who we're about to see a lot more of with Avengers Doomsday coming out next year. Robert Downey Jr. taking over the character, who will probably be in more than just that one film. We'll probably see him several times. I think Dr. Doom is a huge character who's always sort of existed on the periphery of pop culture. People know Dr. Doom. It's a name you hear, but he's not a character like Dr. Octopus or the Green Goblin, who we've seen in movies before. We've seen Dr. Doom in movies, but they were crappy movies. He's never been done well. I think that's a universally agreed upon take, that Dr. Doom has not yet been done justice. And this is really the first supervillain. When you hear the term supervillain, Dr. Doom is the start of that. All the other ones came after this guy. Certainly when you talk about characters like Darth Vader, there's a lot of Dr. Doom's DNA. And this is a great story too. It's the whole time travel thing where the Fantastic Four go back in time to the pirate age, and the Thing is dressed up like Blackbeard, and they've got these time traveling adventures. It's a very kitchen sink comic. There's just a ton of ideas thrown in here. It's a lot of fun. It's also scarce. There are fewer copies of Fantastic Four #5 in the CGC census than there are Fantastic Four #1. So this book is more scarce than Fantastic Four #1. The fair market value of this at the time that I bought it at auction was $9,000, but I bought it on ComicConnect, and sales in ComicConnect get reported into Go Collect. So that knocked the value of this book way down, because I got this for $6,000, I think $6,100. Is a detail I noticed when I was looking at the auction. I got this from ComicConnect, and they had written 5.5 on here. I called them up and I said, hang on, is this a 5.0 or a 5.5? And of course it is a 5.0, but for whatever reason, Metropolis Comics said it was a 5.5. When you're talking about a book like this, that's a big difference in terms of the value of this book. It's not nothing. So I fantasized for a second that I could send this in and get a 5.5. I don't think so. I'm going to probably take it as it is and not CPR it or anything like that. You don't want to mess around with a book like that. I'm sure whoever had this graded did everything they could to get it as high as they could before they had it graded. All right, there you go. Fantastic Four #5, Avengers 1, Amazing Spider-Man Annual 1, a couple other copies of ASM, and a bunch of amazing stories. That is the haul. That's all I got for now. Thanks for watching.